Okay, welcome to In the Shop. Got one side cut out, ground down. Had to pull out Big Bertha, clean it up, so. There we go.
Kind of fun stuff we're doing on New Year's Day.
Yeah, it seems like this contraption isn't really made for a Cummins and a G56, because look at the gangster lean that shit. I've gonna upgrade my hoist from this wheel that you can see is tacoed. Couldn't handle the heat. And even look how chintzy this, just chintzy piece of shit, to this. BAM! This is actually gonna get me a little bit of height too, which doesn't hurt. It's got Zerk fittings, and I got the leg off here. Engine's over there on, kind of hanging out. I didn't want to mess with bolting them on, so I frickin' welded them bastards on there. It's nice having a welder's weld that shit. So we got the new wheels on. They don't turn as good as I thought they would. I mean, they roll and they're which is awesome, but they don't swivel under the heavy load of the Cummins and the G56. So I'm gonna get it in here and hopefully we can move it back far enough, because before it seemed like I had a hard time getting it back far enough, but I think the problem was I was here. As I move, I've got that much to move it back away from that. So I'll just have to do that, put the jack underneath the transmission and slide that back, because as I slide that back, it's gonna go. So I got it sitting kind of level, a lot more level than it was before. So the next step is stabbing it in there. I pulled the windshield wiper thing off too, because I flipped this to get the engine more level. So that's where we're at.
And then I had all these people come out of the woodwork. Hey, we're archaeologists and scientists, and then
okay, so we got motor mount somewhat mocked up.
From the time where
I just kind of do some quick welds on there to get these things all. So that's how the motor mount's going to look. This part is going to go on the body, on the frame. This is going to go on the motor. So that it'll just be like that. So to get started, you got to be drinking some starting fluid.
Interesting that he's rubbing his legs. You can tell he's
good in the morning. Good in the morning. Good. So we got this thing all set up. I yanked the fan off, and we're gonna try to stab this biatch in the hole. I got the new wheels on. They still don't turn as good as I thought they would. We're gonna try to stick it in there. Hopefully we can get it in there. We'll see what happens.
Remember the Men in Black where they push the buttons? You're gonna forget everything.
Oh, I want to take that off too. That's got to come off.
Because he posted that at 12.
The new wheels are so much better. Here we go. We got this where it's at right now. I got to go up a little higher because we're sitting on the thing. So I just got to bring it up and then start bringing it back. Get that back end down to get underneath the hole there, as you can see. And I think I'm going to end up having to beat this corner in, which is okay because, let's see here. Because there ain't. So there we go. We're making this shit happen. About where I think she needs to be. I had to remove the power booster because it was actually interfering right here. We had clearance here, surprisingly. We moved it back a good 4 inches. So now, because I think it might be a little bit lower in the hole than it was. But the only thing is, I can't remember if that was there or here. I think that was for the, I can't remember. Let me put that fan on and see. So it might not be moved back at all, but you know, I remember this being forward of the thing here. I should have took videos. Wait, I got videos. I'll look at those and, so anyways, what I got is I got it about where I want it. And it's sitting 3 degrees tail down. And what I did was when I had it apart, I measured the from the output shaft of the transfer case to the bottom of the frame. drive shaft height to center line off a frame, right? So it's from the center line of the drive shaft was 7 5/8, and I'm right at 8 right now, which is, I guess, a kiss taller, and it could have gone down. So I'm gonna do some research and see what the best angle for this engine to sit at is. This is a set in, yank out, set in, yank out. It's like 4 3/4. We're sitting on the road, and this is probably a pretty level spot of the road, I think. Yeah, she's sitting in there. Okay, so I just went out there and checked the Cummins in the Dodge, and it is at 4 3/4. So I figured this one here, I cranked on it a little bit and got it at 350. So I figured that's about where I'm gonna put it. Now I just need to center this biatch, because you can see she's sitting this way quite a bit now. Whatever I did, I moved her. So I gotta pry it back that way. And then start looking at the dang mounts. I mean, we're still back in here, and she's gonna come back out. I wanna get the mounts at least welded up. At least kind of tacked on there. So I need to move it this way. Yeah, everything's looking good. So we'll figure out how to move it that way, and then I'll get the mounts and mock them up. So we've actually made some headway today, which is good. Looks like I'm gonna make this shit happen. So it's redneck engine swap. I mean, I'm getting it the best I can, and I watched a video online at the Fab series, the TFS, I think it's TFS something, I think it might be the Fab series. Anyways, this guy was talking about it, and he said that the angle doesn't really matter that much as long as you get your drive shaft height, and that's what I'm looking at on the back. So I'll get up underneath there. Now that we've done that, we may have dropped that shaft height. So before I really do anything, I gotta move this over and then put that transfer case on there and measure the drive shaft height of the transfer case. But then again, that's adjustable, because I can take my my mid shaft propeller height. Mid shaft propeller height. In other words, where this thing here mounts, I can adjust that. Okay, so I've been picking away at it. What I did was I got that bottle jack there, put it in here, ran it there against that, and pushed the engine back and marked where I'm gonna tap, just to clearance. That's where it's gonna sit, just like that. And you know, with the manipulation and all that, I've got 372, 375 is what I'm gonna go with on the tilt of the engine. And you can see I got it pretty much lined up with a straight there, and it's pretty much lined up in the back underneath. I maybe got about a ½ inch to the driver's side, which I want, because that'll give me more room with my drive shaft and my exhaust. So we're gonna have to figure out something for the brakes, and I'm hoping that freaking windshield wiper motor will fit in there. If not, I'll figure something out. I always do. So we're getting ready to tack some mounts up. I'm gonna mark them and tack them. And I probably should fit that, because that's looking awful tight now. That ain't gonna fit. We're gonna have to, I've got marked everywhere I need a bead. I think I'm gonna have to flatten that bump out. I don't know what that bump is for. Tell me what that bump is for. Y'all can see in there. I can't. You know what that bump is for? I know what that bump is for. It's for beating on. Okay, so that's where we're at, man. We've made some good headway today. Really good headway. Kind of got her set in the hole, and she's looking sexy as ever. I might have to do some sort of manipulation here, but that's okay. I can do that. Put a bracket or just the intercooler. So we moved, man. This thing was here. So we moved from here back. That's how far we moved. So we're sucked way back in there. And you know, looking at the cream puff, that oil pan is just off the axle. So this thing's actually moved back further than the cream puff. But the axle might be sitting further forward. So, you know, 6 of one, half dozen of the other, but that will give me better weight transfer for when I take it to the road course and run her through the road course with the trailer and the Mustang on the back. The Mustang. That guy. Yeah, so that's where we're at. I'm gonna take a break, puff on a cigar a little bit, maybe have a water, and start looking at getting those motor mounts welded up. That's gonna be the fun part, because I'm gonna do the full length on the big one. This one's gonna be full length, and then these will be whatever length they need to be. And I'll tighten this, well, I'll put a spacer in here. Put a spacer in there and tighten it. That way there's a little gap, you know, so I can tighten it and flex them, and then weld a cap here. If it's, because I think this is gonna end up being about that long right there. And I don't know, man, that's, you know, that little bit of welded area to hold that motor in. I don't know if that's gonna do it, so I might have to add something, maybe an angle iron or something on there to get it tight like a tiger. Anyways, it's break time. Okay, so we drew first blood. We got tack, tack, and tack. That's all tacked up, and we're gonna measure and tack the other side up. Then we got one side done, and then we just gotta get the other side tacked up. Then we're cooking with gas. Or actually, in this case, we're welding with gas. So once I get them tacked up, this thing's gonna come out. I've got some marks there where I need to tap down a little bit. And I'm gonna need to tap all that. So we'll see how my tapping skills is. I kind of want to make it look not like somebody beat it with a hammer. I might end up cutting it. I don't know. We'll see. One thing I did do, as you can see, I beveled this to get full penetration. So that way I can lay a bead and get that sucker right up in there, get it good and hot. Okay, here's the mounts. I've got them labeled. L is for left and R is for right, although the R actually somehow ended up upside down. The welds look pretty, kind of. Let's just hope they hold. And they got good penetration. I mean, whew. So that's where we're at now. We're gonna, now I gotta pull the transfer case off. Pull the transfer case off, and then work on getting the motor back out of the hole, get my hammer, get in there and beat the crap out of it. Okay, we got the engine out. Now, I went ahead and I laid a root pass and then several passes. Each one's got about 3 or 4 passes. Not the prettiest, but it ain't going nowhere. And I massaged here a little bit. You can see that where it used to come out, now it goes in. I might have to cut, I don't know, because this is, maybe I'll get the sledgehammer on it. Gotta move this, bump this back a little bit here. But yeah. And then I'm gonna make a custom box for this, because this is, so whatever that, if it's bent a little bit, it's not a big deal. Yeah. So the next step is to finish my massage in the garage, and then put the clutch on this biatch. And I'm not too sure if I want to stab the tranny underneath or if I'm going to go ahead and try to put the clutch and flywheel and everything on. It's probably maybe another 100 pounds or so heavier